McLaren Racing CEO Zak Brown believes that Max Verstappen will wave goodbye to Red Bull after F1 2025. And as of where he would go next, Brown believes Verstappen will sign with Mercedes to align with the engine manufacturer Brown sees as the best equipped for the huge regulatory reset coming for F1 2026. Max Verstappen to leave Red Bull? Brown senses a Mercedes switch Verstappen in F1 2025 will look to make Red Bull history by winning a remarkable fifth world championship in a row, though McLaren made an early statement of intent in Australia, dominating over one lap while Lando Norris held off Verstappen in a gripping conclusion to a wet Grand Prix. However, despite crossing the line less than a second behind Norris, Verstappen suggested that the Red Bull RB21 still does not have the outright pace to take a win with. The Chinese Grand Prix next up. Asked how satisfying P2 was, Verstappen replied, "I think it's good compared to the teams behind us, but if you look at the first stint, we were quite a bit off. As soon as the tires started to overheat, we had no chance. McLaren just took off. So we still have a lot of work to do to fight for a win, but yeah, I'm happy that we are second here. It's basically one place better than we should have been, as McLaren's Oscar Piastri spun out of P2, and it's 18 more points than I had last year at this race." Verstappen and Red Bull had been dominant in F1's ground effect era, but having lost their way during last season, Verstappen at one stage going 10 races without a win, talk of a potential exit for their Flying Dutchman bubbled away, with Red Bull senior advisor Helmut Marko and Red Bull team principal Christian Horner both admitting to a performance-related clause in his contract. Mercedes and Aston Martin were the teams speculated as potential alternate homes on the F1 grid for Verstappen, and Brown has put a bet on Verstappen joining Mercedes for F1 2026.